This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
So I guess Hastings called me stupid yesterday because D-Mac told him what we discussed in the morning, yesterday's show, and my discussion was pretty simple. I don't have confidence right now that the Nuggets are a championship team. Mm-hmm. And Hastings' reply was, well, he's stupid. And I
said the same thing.
I want to ask you guys, am I stupid or are we all stupid? Because right now, as we speak, I don't have that confidence.
The answer
now
Hastings wants a piece.
No, I'm just wondering because I is that honesty or is that stupidity?
I said the same thing as you.
Right, so I wasn't just on one then. I wasn't just losing it for the sake of losing it.
I think I was the first one to say it yesterday because I was sitting there and I go, if I think this team is going to win a championship, there shouldn't be anybody that they line up against that I say they aren't winning today. And I've done that multiple times this year with them. So how do I put those two together? If I think you're winning a championship, but there's some games out there where you're playing Boston or you're playing OKC or you're playing Cleveland, I go, yeah, I don't think they're winning.
But it's also fair to think that could change, too, that mindset, right? If suddenly they have a month left with a very rigorous schedule, if they start showing you in those prove-it games, then your mind can change.
It could.
Fair?
It could.
Absolutely, it could. I mean, this is a malleable position.
We're pretty late in the year, though, man. Like,
understood.
This isn't December.
Yeah, but what you also have to do, Brett, I think, is you've got to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt with the pedigree that they have as a group. Because
they've done it before.
For the most part, that group has an awesome pedigree. You got to give them that benefit of the doubt, Vic. And I'm doing that right now, but I don't see anything right now that's saying to me, oh, yeah, this team's ready to go make a huge run.
Can I clarify something then? It's not that I think they can't win a championship, okay? It's not that they can't.
But you're not confident they can.
I think there's teams that have a much better shot than them.
That's a very good way to put it. There's a big difference between nobody said they're not going to win a championship.
Like, it's an impossible thing.
That's not the case. That's stupid to say that. Of course they're in the conversation. Of course they are. But you don't feel very confident about it.
I would give OKC a better shot.
Yeah.
I give Boston a better shot.
And that's the truth. And if you don't feel that way by looking at what you've seen, I think you're lying to yourself.
Yeah. Are you winning a championship?
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. That's my entire point here. Is when the Nuggets won the championship, Vic, they were, to me, the favorite. I'm like, I think this is the best team in the league.
Absolutely.
You see what Oklahoma City's doing right now?
Yep.
If you remember that Nugget season, there was a point, at this point right now, they had a 9-game lead.
Yeah.
A 9-game lead in the Western Conference.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
What's it going to cost to go get this guy? Is he a $30 million wide receiver?
Yes. Pay it.
Give him the Tyreek Hill contract. 3 years, $90 million.
Pay it. Sean Payton, as an offensive game planner, you do not currently have a wide receiver one that creates separation and has consistent production, period, point blank, with any quarterback, let alone the quarterback that had a really good rookie year. This is the ultimate confidence boost for a guy like Bo Nix.
Rappaport tweets out 2 minutes ago, while the assumption has been that Davante Adams wants to play with Aaron Rodgers, and historically that's always been his plan, my understanding, Ian Rappaport, is the pull of being on the West Coast is very real. So, if it ain't Rodgers, that means it's the Chargers.
Why?
You can't fit him in San Francisco.
Yeah, you got the
you can't fit it. You can't fit him in L.A. Sorry, with the Rams. Yep. It's so funny. When I think LA, I automatically go Rams.
Rams are more LA than Chargers.
It just still doesn't fit.
And really, neither of them are really LA. The Rams are St. Louis.
For me, they feel LA-y.
They won
because they were LA at one point, and then they left, and
John
then they came
Robinson,
back.
Jackie Slater.
Yeah.
You know.
That would suck. That would be worst case Ontario, is if he goes to the LA Chargers for 3 years, 30 sheets, and you give Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh something to play with.
Is it worth engaging in a bit of a bidding war with the Chargers?
Yeah. Talk about what Schefter was tweeting out last week about the NFL draft, and Peyton wanted to take Colston Loveland away from Harbaugh. I'd do both things. Take away Colston in the first round if you can, and then take away Davante Adams in free agency.
All you have to do is look to Jim Harbaugh's track record. If you're Davante Adams, what style of football does Jim Harbaugh ideally want to play? Ground and pound. Ground and pound.
The Altitude Daily. Polumbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Valor coach and host of the Morning Sprint, Mike Sanford, says biggest no-brainer move for the Broncos. Is he right?
Simply speaking, yes, he's right. You'd be insane to not have conversations with Davante Adams. I think it's a loaded question, though, man. I mean, look, Davante Adams is 32 years old. He's got no money left coming in from the New York Jets anymore, which means he's going to want to sign a 4 or 5 year deal, and he's going to want to be paid $35 million per year in all likelihood. If you could tell me there was a way to get Davante Adams signed on a 2-year deal, I'm in. Do I want to commit to Davante Adams a 4 or 5 year deal? No, I do not.
Davante Adams, Brandon Ayuk, or Cooper Kupp, who would you take?
So that's interesting to bring up Brandon Ayuk because we haven't mentioned that yet, but the 49ers are apparently shopping Brandon Ayuk right now. They said their entire team is for sale. For the first time in Kyle Shanahan's career, they might be legitimately resetting. To your question, Brandon Ayuk, Davante Adams, or who?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. Brandon Ayuk.
Davante Adams. Back at you.
What was Ayuk's injury last year?
I actually don't remember.
Was it an ACL?
I'll look it up.
It's ACL, then it comes down to Cooper Kupp or Davante Adams. Man, that's tough. Yeah, that's probably Adams.
Listen,
but if it
well, let me ask you guys this.
I like them all, by the way.
In my scenario, and maybe you guys disagree with my scenario, but in my scenario, Davante Adams has got no money left coming in. So we're not looking at a Russell Wilson type of situation where he's getting paid by another team and is going to play for $1 million. We're looking at a dude that considers himself wide receiver number 1 in the NFL. Not just wide receiver number 1 on a team. He considers himself the best wide receiver in the NFL. You think that dude's looking for a 4 or 5 year deal? And are you ready to give that to him?
I think the Broncos have money to spend. They're going to overspend on somebody. And they've talked about needing more playmakers for Bo Nix. So he checks a lot of those boxes.
But you didn't answer my question.
So I'd be fine with it. I'm going to answer your question more directly. I would be fine with it.
All right. That seems pretty scary to me, giving a 32-year-old wide receiver 1 money for 5 years.
Well, you ain't giving it. You're not giving it to Cortland Sutton, are you?
I'll say this: I ring the doorbell, and I see if it's going to take. You don't know if you could game 3 years, $45 million, 40 guaranteed. Would you do it?
In a heartbeat. Yeah, because that's a 2-year deal.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
I don't know that receivers this team's top need. I still would love to see. I mean, is anybody else going to be a joker? Again, George Payton.
We need a joker.
Trying to find a goddamn joker.
Yeah, I'm with him. You're trying to find a goddamn joker. I don't know there's a free agent joker out there, okay? I just don't. So keep drafting, keep plugging away at it. You might as well, you know what the chemistry between Cortland Sutton is and Bo Nix, okay? I just don't. The Davante thing, unless he wants to come here cheap, and I bet you he doesn't.
He's going to try and make every penny that he possibly can, as well he should.
This might be his last big hit.
Yeah, as well he should, and he's going to turn 33 this upcoming year. Yeah, I say go kick the tires, make a phone call. Absolutely.
How much you willing to pay him?
Gauge that market. I'll give Davante. I'll give him $18 million. How's that sound?
How do you think it sounds to him?
I'll spend $18 million of their money. Yeah, gladly. I would do that. Great question, because I don't know what the rest of that market is going to look like. Now, a couple of things right there. You talk about the West Coast. Well, Denver can kind of cosplay as a West Coast city a little bit. We get
the TV times
totally,
all the time.
Absolutely. So you got a little bit of that going on. You're in the AFC West, which does afford you the opportunity to get back to Las Vegas, to go to Los Angeles. So you've got that. You've got a young quarterback that is, developed good chemistry with his receivers already. So that's something that you could participate in. Hey, I can help the development of one Bo Nix. Now, I'm sure if he's looking at West Coast destinations, an opportunity to play with like a Matthew Stafford or a Justin Herbert is going to be more attractive to him than playing with Bo Nix. But you never know. Like Bo Nix is just some dude's flavor. Maybe Davante Adams would be into that. And this is a dude that last year, once he and Rodgers kind of got it together a little bit, he had that massive game against Jacksonville. He finished the season with a 6-catch, 88-yard, 1-tutty performance against the Dolphins. Like, there's still a good NFL wide receiver in there in Davante Adams. Obviously, get him in the building, get him into camp. This is a guy that's got to go through training camp, get ingratiated in your system. But a Davante Adams on a short deal across from a Cortland Sutton, and you continue to develop Mims and Vele and Franklin. I'm intrigued. I like it.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com/Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.